Good morning, all. Check this out, guys. 5 micro up $600. So check this out. I put those on. Hold 1 second. I put this on when I had on my previous trades, the e-minis this morning. And I leave these on because they were micros and I could manage them. So I stay with them. Check what's happening now. They're up 100. They're up close to $600, 585. So what's going to happen here is actually they may run this market down. So what I would do, I would actually scale out like 3 of them and just leave 2 as a runner and see if we get a bigger flush when the market open, right? So I take half profit here, and I would hold 2 and see if we get a bigger runner. Or I could always get back in if it get a little recovery. I take 1 off, I take them all off. I close the trade out, and I could always reset and get back in, book the profit. So let me say you get $600 from that. That's 600 times 10, right? So if I had on 5 E-mini, that would have been $6,000. All right. I leave those on because NQ was not breaking down. It stays around the 60s, 60 points in the 60 range down. Then it finally fall out of bed, right? All right. When I look at those, they were up like $200 a second to stay with them because this was not breaking down. NQ was not breaking down. When I did my assessment this morning, he was only down like 0.42%, while the other guys were up over 50%, minus 50%, right? 0.50%. Then he actually now become the weakest guy. Well, close to the weakest, second weakest guy. That was the weakest guy, right? Once that breakdown happened, I think we could get a big sell-off, because here's why I'm saying that. The VIX is actually rallying, and mid caps and small cap stocks are going on low. We down 1% here in mid caps. As the mid caps in the S&P 500. Small caps, whereas the Russell is down 0.89%. So we got some real trouble brewing here with this market would actually flush. So I think the trick in playing this market is not a trick, but the right way to play this market is every rally up, meaningful rally up, look for a short setup. We could use the internals to see the speed. No, we could use the cumulative ticks to see the delta between the bid and the ask. And I think we could make some good assessment here to short this market on any meaningful rally with a setup. I think that would be the way to approach it this morning, because I watched the VIX, and the VIX was actually rallying up this morning, right? If we take a look at this watch list here, we could see bonds turned positive, he was negative. VIX now is up $2.15. Gold is rallying. Yen is down because the dollar is up, right? Yen is down because the dollar, and gold is bucking against the dollar, right? So if you watch these correlated assets, right, you apply them to your strategy or using the internals, you get a good idea if we get a bigger sell-off or not, right? So that's the trick right there. If we look at what's going on, if we assess the Dow in pre-market, might be able to see, what stock's going to be down when it open, right? JP Morgan is going to be down. Disney is opening up a little high, down, right? You got IBM opening down. J&J is flat. We look at the big buy. CRM is opening down like $3-4. American Express opening down. Microsoft opening down. All right. Boeing opening down like $5. Caterpillar opening down. Goldman Sachs opening down like $2. Apple opening down like $1.50, $2, right? Those are the big cap weighted stocks within the Dow, right? And if you look here, we can see it, right? Last and the bid and ask, right? They give you a good assessment what's going to happen here with the Dow, right? Dow have 30 stocks, so it's easy to do an assessment on the Dow, right? You look at the big market caps failure, and the Dow will tank. And the VIX is doing its own thing. The VIX is just rallying, which is adding pressure to the indices. And if gold rally and bond recover, the correlated assets definitely will put pressure on the indices. So we wait for another alignment. We take another trade. Okay. Until then, we start another session.